All right. Good morning. Good morning. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Oh, wait, what is this? Okay. Sorry. Go to hit start and like everything, like usual, goes off. Ugh, my phone was doing all its crazy updates. Good. Cool. Thanks, Will. All right. So, yeah, it's funny. Like my phone, like Todd and I were like catching up um, after the broadcast. And like my phone was just like Omicron update, Omicron update, Omicron update. Like the World Health Organization just said that it's going to be severe or whatever. Um, I was just like, oh god, check out these headlines saying that it's going to spread, but trust science, but we don't know what it's going to do yet. It could be bad, but it's going to spread everywhere. It's the news is just like everything is clickbait for the news. It's so funny. Yeah, it's pretty hysterical. I like the guy in California. Trust the science, but we don't know how bad it's going to be. But get vaccinated. It's like, okay. Am I trusting the science? Do you know if it's going to be bad? No. Okay, but trust the science. it's like It's like, dude, you're I think at this point, pretty much, I don't think anything at this point. I feel like if you're not vaccinated, you're probably not getting vaccinated. Um, yeah, that dude in California is a special dude. Yeah, interesting fella. Trust the science, trademark. Yeah, yeah. Trust the science, but in the next line, but we're not sure how bad this one or if it even is going to be bad, right? I'm still waiting for a good definition of that word. I don't think that means no. It's like transitory, right? They have not figured out exactly what transitory means yet either. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think what we need. I think we need a different. My take is we need a different word than vaccine, right? Because I feel like compared to other vaccines, right? I feel like with other vaccines, like the vaccinations like a child goes through, like you don't get chicken pox, you don't get measles, mumps, rubella, and the other 12 different, acronyms that are included into the vaccine. Vaccines are to prevent you to getting from things, not just really reduce them. You know, like I get it, you can get the flu shot and get a different one. Again, it's kind of a different strain, but I feel like it's a different word, right? Like we get a flu shot, right? We don't get a flu vaccine every year. You get a flu shot. Like I feel like we should just talk about get your COVID shots, not your COVID vaccines. I feel like we're swaying the truth a little bit, right? Because it doesn't, you know, it it doesn't guarantee you don't get it. It doesn't keep you from passing it to other people. It lessens the symptoms, sure, but that's kind of like that's not a vaccine that really, you don't. When people say vaccine, the first thing you don't think is it's going to lower my symptoms and reduce my chances of getting it. No, you think that I'm not getting it, right? I get a chickenpox vaccine. I'm not getting chickenpox. I get the shingles vaccine. I'm not getting shingles, right? Um, so didn't what does it say? The original doctor in South Africa said different symptoms, but mild on the first patient she treated. Media loves to create havoc. Yeah, yeah. But I do think, but Debbie, I do find this interesting. It's kind of like I feel like they're drumming up a lot of panic, but then you have Japan effectively banning all foreigners. Like we're going back to locking down, but it's like I don't know what percentage of your population is vaccinated. I don't know. I mean, look at it this way: if you believe in Darwin's theory of evolution, right? Right? For those that don't want to get vaccinated, oh well, it's on them, right? Stupid will breed itself out, supposedly, right? That's kind of what it is, right? Right? But it's like, but on the other side, I understand. Like if you don't want to take the risks because it's something that if you make it 2 years, will you technically have less risk by not doing it for 2 years if you're not going to get it? Sure, sure. Right? Um, Again, if you believe in science, science says that people are less prepared will disappear in time. That's what science says, right? So don't worry about them, right? I don't know. It's like, I get it. And at the same time, it's like we're getting our third doses, and then we're talking about our fourth doses, and then South Africa, it's 6% vaccinated. So at the same time, all those people talking about equality and justice and all this other stuff, yeah, why is it that South Africa is only 6% vaccinated? Oh, because we wouldn't send them the vaccines. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. How about that for inequality? Yep. Hmm. Yeah. So that's why I kind of don't, I'm kind of over it all. Stupid will breed itself out. I love that. Yeah. I mean, right? I mean, that's technically right. I mean, that's what Darwinism basically says, right? That only the fittest survive. So, I mean, if the vaccine is what makes you fittest, then you should survive. And the people that don't have it should eventually be out, right? But again, that's what science says. So, I mean, are we trusting science or are we not trusting science? Right? I mean, I don't know. um, too many dumb folks on the loose. Yeah, there's dumb folks on the loose, but there's dumb educated folks too. We had this debate this weekend. My mom, we were talking about all the trials. My mom's like, he should have gotten the electric chair for killing two people. I'm like, Mom, did you see the footage? I mean, there's actual footage. Like, there's a guy in the trial called Jump Kick Man. You know, at the same time, there was the other guy that got off, Andrew Coffey or whatever, right? Andrew actually shot his pistol at a police officer. So it's like it's hard to say. I was like, I'm like, Mom, I don't think the court is rigged for color. I think the court is rigged for money. If you have money, you can. I mean, look at OJ, right? OJ obviously did what he did. I'm just a believer. Did OJ use his money to get off? Yes, I think so. I think if you have enough money, you can pretty much go through any loophole in the system and get out of a lot of stuff, right? I mean, look at John Gotti. John Gotti was obviously a criminal, but why was he called the Teflon Don? Because he kept figuring out how to get out of things, right? If he was poor, he never would have been able to do that. It's rigged against people with less money. That's what it's rigged against. But my mom, very educated, master's degree, everything like that. She's like, "Oh, he killed two people." I'm like, "Mom, there is a definition of self defense. He obviously met it by a jury of his peers. Like, I, I mean, it's not based off of public opinion. It's based off of what the people saw in the courtroom. You weren't in the courtroom. None of us know, right? But we just know a jury of his peers. If you can't trust 12 people to make a decision, like, what do you want? Like, do they get it wrong sometimes? Yeah, absolutely. Do they get it right sometimes? Yeah, absolutely. But nothing's perfect. Like, but in this case where there was actually footage and quote dropkick man, I was like, Mom. So yeah, so just because people are smart doesn't mean that they are smart. Is kind of what I'm getting back at. That the current inflation is normal and cyclical. No, no, it's not normal and cyclical. Come on, let's call it what it is. No, no. Yeah, the people that are saying that are the ones that are happy with the way that things are running. So that's all right. I saw an interesting article too this weekend about how Democrats are starting to panic for the midterms now. That I guess they're looking a little bit farther forward, and they're starting to panic, and it was something along the lines of that they're starting to change everything that they've done. Like you would assume that when you're in charge, that like that you were doing something right, but they said basically where they're doing now, they're changing all their viewpoints and all their methods because they're really nervous about the midterms. It's weird. Like I don't ever look at the Republican Party as being innovative, right? Like I don't know. I would say Democrats' preparation with fun, with donations and all that kind of stuff, like Obama rocked that kind of stuff. The fact that the Democrats are going back to the drawing board so there's not a huge sweep at midterms is kind of like, huh. It's kind of interesting, right? Like, because I just don't feel that Republicans are very big on the innovation, right? I don't think they're known for late, massive SEO campaigns and new fundraising methods, and I just don't. I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, like it's like the third article I've seen now where a lot of them are changing their practices and people are dropping out because they don't want to be involved in the big sweep. That they're just basically saying, like, the article talked about how a couple people have already said they're not going to rerun again because it's not. They just in the current environment they don't see it being conducive for them going forward, so they're just going to drop out now. Like they're just not going to go for reelection, and it's making like Democrats scramble. Like, what do you mean you're not going to get reelected? What do you mean you're not going to run? Like they're getting like they're freaking out. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting time, y'all. Time to get, time to go buy those. Everybody needs to go get a gun, I guess. Yeah, but yeah, it's always interesting being in a household where you have my uncle is very, very right leaning, and my mom is very left leaning, and hearing the conversation back and forth. It's fun. Yeah, Melissa was like, "Wow, this is crazy." I'm like, "Yeah, it's an Italian family. What do you expect?" You know? I was like, "My uncle's not married. He does nothing but research stuff on the internet." I mean, he's very smart. I mean, very, very smart guy. But it's funny because my mom is like, "No, no, no, the news said this." And he's like, "Do you have anything to back that up or just because you saw it on MSNBC?" So, just moved to a blue state. Well, he lives in a blue state. He lives in New Jersey. Yeah, he lives in New Jersey. So, he's all up on, all of the things that Chris Christie is doing and yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he was laughing. He's like, "Yeah, it's like a super close race here." He's like, "But they're gonna find ballots at the last minute," and they did. They found melons. It's funny. Yeah. So yeah, yeah, he's very familiar with Christie. Yeah, I don't know if he likes him or doesn't like him. Not sure. Anyway, now I'm coughing. Todd's like, "Hey, you didn't cough at all today." I'm like, "Yeah, that's great, Todd." Yeah. So I was feeling like I mean, I still feel fine. Yesterday, like I didn't really cough that much. I was doing good all day yesterday. Went to the kids' practice, came home, and I couldn't. My nose was like literally on like full blown. Like let's just keep going. I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, why am I? I don't understand. Why the hell am I coughing so much now? Like my nose just would not stop running last night. I don't know if it's like allergy, like I'm hypersensitive allergies, or what it is. But God, but yeah, it's like, phew. I don't know. This is like the never ending. Todd's like, "Do you think you had COVID?" I'm like, "I don't know, maybe." But I'm on like week 4 of this stupid cough. I'm like, Jen was tested. She doesn't have it. So anyway, not a lot today. I mean, obviously news wise, guys, it's just releases, right? Or it's just speeches. Like I said, I think really what's going to be the kicker today is again, COVID Omicron. That sounds weird. COVID Omicron sounds like a transformer, but I feel like everything today is going to be Omicron, 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 Omicron. It's going to be like who can come out with the most recent. Let's see here. Let's see what kind of other headlines. Too early for a rebound. Closing it down. Omicron news. Another lockdown. One thing on the euro, and then again post-pandemic economy. So inflamed bronchitis too. It probably. Oh, you think that's why my nose was running, Debbie? Maybe. I mean, it was really windy. I don't know. Maybe. But yeah, I think I definitely had bronchitis or had bronchitis. But I don't know. It's weird because we all. I don't know. I thought bronchitis was something that you got. Like you couldn't. Like bronchitis was not something you could spread to other people. It was like a personal thing. But bronchitis was the result of another virus, which obviously we got the virus from gin. We got that right. But I didn't think you could spread bronchitis. Like if I was bronchitis, I didn't think I could be contagious. Like you could get the virus that gave me bronchitis, but you may or may not get it. But Melissa and I, because we both had asthma, we were at risk for it. Ugh. Oh, and I don't know if you guys saw it or not. I don't even know if he's here. Yeah, Ernest is here. Did you guys see Ernest's turkey picture from this weekend? I had to post it up. I mean, was that not some beautiful turkey? Now, I will say this: it was a beautiful picture, but if that was not a plate for one, it definitely was not enough food to feed a family. So I'm really hoping, and it was kind of a big plate for one, Ernest. Just in all fairness, it was kind of a big plate for one, but it was a beautiful picture. The smoking, yeah, looked amazing, but it was definitely not a family size platter. I was looking at that. I'm like, I'm torn. This could be like a huge single serving, but I don't know. You have post-COVID inflamed tubes that cause bronchitis, which is not contagious in nature. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, the baby has the same thing, but she was tested and came up negative for COVID. And Debbie, I can't have COVID. I got vaccinated. Come on. I got the vaccine. Yeah. Oh, but in regards to that too, I don't know if you guys saw it. 3.7 million people. The data was based off of that in head to head. 3.7 million people. Moderna was ahead of Pfizer. Yes, yes, yes. Ernest, that was. I don't even know if that's enough for 4 people. Ernest, I feel like I don't know. I don't know. Debbie, that would explain it though. But I don't. I don't know. Maybe. But yeah, it was definitely some virus. Yeah. But yeah, my nose won't stop running now. It's like, oh, I'm just over it. And honestly, Debbie, I really wish that there was a test that I could take to figure out if I ever did have COVID. Like if there was some type of markers, like it was truly COVID. I know right now, based off everything we have, there's no way to know because I had the vaccine, right? Um, but I would really love to know if like I've actually ever had it. I mean, I've been to tournaments where people from Florida were there that didn't. I mean, there was like 8 million people. We weren't supposed to travel with people. It was supposed to be one parent per kid, um, for safety reasons, and we were outdoors still, right? But like there was like 8 million. It was like there was like 4 people per kid on the Florida teams, and none of them had masks on. I was like, holy crap, this is insane. Like I haven't been nervous really at all. I was nervous at this tournament. And I was like, I'm not taking my mask off. Like, you're outside, coach. I'm like, I don't care. You see all these people from Florida? Um, yeah. But I would love to know if I've actually had it, you know, to where I could say, okay, now I know. Um, there is test one that will show a spike protein. Yeah, but that's the thing. Oh, the yeah, but I thought one of them basically, it's kind of like I know there's like tests like that also. Like Melissa had her tests for the baby where with like group B strep or whatever, where like I think it's group B strep. I was the term they threw out. Where it was like there's one test that shows you if you currently have it and one test to show you if you've ever had it type thing. But I thought with COVID, once you had the shot, that was it. You have the antibodies and you can't, you know, like I thought that there was not like a reliable test to determine whether or not the antibodies were from the RNA shot or from the actual thing itself. I would love to know, you know? I mean, like just long term health wise, right? Like, okay, yes, I was one of the ones that had COVID in, 2020. Didn't know it. I was asymptomatic. It would have been nice to know, right? But just for like long term things, it's like, hey, listen, you should probably watch out for this or this or this and this long term, right? Yeah. Okay. To the spike protein. But what if you had J&J? Because J&J would be the actual antibodies from the, a deceased virus. See? I don't know. But yeah, maybe I'll look into that because I would love to know just for like long term health stuff. Anyway, tomorrow morning, I think this economic barometer should be interesting. Although on a normal week, I think it would be a decent dollar Swiss trade. I think right now, because of again, quote Omicron, there's going to be way too much emphasis on safety, like financial safety, which would be more dollar based. So while I would like this as a good release, I think it's a great opportunity. It's already expected to be worse. I think it would be a great long opportunity for dollar Swiss. I think too much is going to be put on the dollar right now, unfortunately. So I don't think it's going to give us the great response. I do think tomorrow morning again 8:30 before we speak. I do think the GDP month over month is a good release. It's expected to be basically flat. With the way that oil is really dictating what's happening right now with the CAD, I think this has the opportunity to give us a dollar CAD short tomorrow. Again, if it comes in negative, it's kind of like it's going to be like, all right, it's not strong. Okay, that's an oil thing. But if it comes in and it's a strong number, then it will actually have some room and it can kind of I don't know delink itself for lack of a better word, just for a little bit and then relink again. So, thank you, Debbie. I appreciate that. But I think this could be an interesting release tomorrow morning, early at 8:30, and then everything else. Pal testifying should be interesting tomorrow. That's at 10 o'clock. I love this. Pal is testifying on the CARES Act. It's kind of like, huh, okay. I don't believe, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I really believe that the Fed did not create the CARES Act. So, kind of interesting that they're going to ask him questions about something that they created. But hey, you never know. So, yeah, and I love this one. Unscripted moments can lead to heavy market volatility. So yeah, I'm kind of looking for that. And again, right around 10 o'clock, so could be a nice reversal time tomorrow morning at 10, right before we speak. And then again, GDP I think is going to be a good one. Expected to be pretty negative. So again, this comes in at a -2, much better than expected. Could have a nice little surge in the Aussie tomorrow. So some good things set up in the next 2 days. As far as where the markets are, I mean, I guess we'll start off with currencies, right? So I mean, really, we saw. I mean, it's really gonna be hard to draw much right now. So I mean, this is Friday. Everything more or less collapsed. Obviously, all the profit targets were hit from Friday. Trying to find new levels in this one right now. This target got hit. I mean, here is a. I don't know if this is fresh or not. Actually, they just put a horizontal line. Let's see if I can go back far enough. Does not appear that I can. Nope. Let's see. 4 hour. Yes. Yeah, so we can see this has been an area. I'd like to see what that is. Can I see that, please? Yes. still kind of a it's an hourly. Can I see? Let's see. Let's bring this down here. Try to shrink this as much as we can. I'm like, why did I mark off this whole area when I can see this? It's like, oh, that's right. I got more data. Look at this, Will. You see it? There's no D's. No D's up for the indices. I own the package, although VIX, but I'm not paying for VIX. It's an alright level, so it's going to have to be focused on that. It's quite a drop. So it looks like there we have our top and our bottom. That one held pretty firm. I'm going to steal this. Oops. I want the number. Give me the number. All right. So don't know that I would go for another long off the 7114. Reason why is because, again, we've hit it, we've hit it, we've hit it, we've hit it. They're there, right? They've hit it. But again, it's one of those areas where it's kind of like, oof, can it stomach another hit? It's really only the second or third hit because, again, riding along there, we don't really count as like a hit, 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 multiples in a row. Um, but really, besides data, I don't know if we take that one. So let's see, how big is this one down below? It's 14. So yeah, we'll mark that one off. Turn this green. Let's turn this. Oops. Bring this across. Bring this down. Whoops. There we go. 7041, 7196. Looks like we don't have a whole lot going on till here. Probably that level. 1 to 3 is right there. So yeah, maybe a potential short sitting there. What did it say? Yeah, I gave in. Yeah, I gave in. Actually, what I was trying to do, yeah, and part of the reason, Will, too, part of the reason why I did is because I got one of the I got put on like a I don't know if I got put on like a developers list or something like that. I mean, obviously I'm no programmer. I can change indicator dates and stuff like that, and I can do some basic programming. Inside of like MT4, but I got another update that there's been another increase in what PineScript can do. Not that I'm going to suddenly jump in and start dabbling in PineScript, but with it in there, there are kind of a couple cool ideas I have that I want to see if I can integrate in. And it helps if I was actually a member versus just a free, you know, a freeloader. So now that I'm actually, I can say that I'm actually a subscriber. It does help with some things. So I'm trying to get something. What I'm trying to do, Will, is see, and again, maybe you know this already. So what I was thinking about this weekend is helping transition the newsletter kind of over into here. I know there are ways that like you can go in here and you can see like I guess it's in like community scripts and stuff like that, different things. If I created one of these, and again, these are different ones in there. If I was able to suddenly put the levels, right, the weekly levels in here, like basically like almost like a copier. So I would have the weekly kind of newsletter levels all listed, and you guys would be able to kind of pull one of the scripts on or do one of the other things in there and get access to it. Right. So not just the script, but like being able to see the weekly newsletters. So if you were using TradingView, instead of going to check out the levels on the website, you would be able to just kind of click in here and all of a sudden, boom, see kind of where all the higher level stuff. Yeah, PineScript is very, very limited. But again, there's supposedly another update that's about to come out. That again, I'm just saying. I know there was an upgrade a couple weeks ago, but then there's another one that are saying that it's going to even give it more programming power. I guess I'm not the only one that complains that it doesn't do enough stuff. So it looks like there's like an active community that's trying to increase its power, I guess. But anyway, that's what I was looking at. I was kind of things I was trying to make it easier and better for everybody. So yeah. Um, but yeah, that would be like something like if we could add on where you could be like basically like, hey, listen, I would love it. I mean, I know I can do the copy in MT4, although it's kind of a pain, so that's why I haven't done it yet. But yeah. Anyway, could be a potential short. Let's try to stay on focus here. We're way behind today. I've been all over the place. I'm gonna blame Ernest for it too. Yeah, yeah. I look at the desktop ad font. I feel like I might be able to move off a toss. Well, hey, 2022 is coming up. It's a good time to switch. No, I'm just kidding. Um, no, yeah, I'm gonna probably try. I'm not doing it now. You guys know that I do have the Live Oando account. I'm curious. I haven't really done any demos over here. I know you guys say that it's been good, but I haven't done any demo trading inside of this one. In any of these things. I mean, maybe I'll set up. I don't know. Maybe I'll set up like a. I mean, there's a paper one here. I mean, I have a live here. I don't know. I love TradeStation as a platform, though. I don't know if I would trade if I had TradeStation. I don't know if I'd be here, but maybe here. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know Gemini. Optimus. I don't know them. I don't know. I feel like I need to. Maybe I'll try to do one. Well, I think you're being really nice. I was gonna say like 1985, right? Maybe not 95. Um, yeah. I don't know, but yeah, I was thinking about trying to start putting trades in on this one, just to make it a little bit faster. We'll see. I doubt that I'll give up MT4 because I just have too many things custom programmed in that I know I can't do over here. But it would be nice to be able to see it a little bit better. Windows 95. Yeah, probably Windows 95ish. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, maybe 95. Windows ME. I don't know what year that came out. ME. You guys remember ME? Could be ME. Anyway, Aussie yen. Aussie yen I don't like as much as Aussie dollar right now. So it's got a few levels, but we didn't really have anything like crazy buy area wise. We had a small level right here. And that's kind of what you guys can see. We literally bounced right off of that level from way back here, the 80.47. But below it, I wouldn't say there's any like really strong buys where I'm like, God, I love that buy. Love that buy. I don't really. There's probably, let me see if there's any buy area in there. Eh, it's probably more like here, but it's a kind of a bigger area of risk. Probably the next clean level. So this one would be an area of interest. We can change it to a red. Whoops. That's fine. I can leave it there. I'd say there's probably a decent short out of there. It was a nice reaction. I'm gonna say that bottom side, probably down here, changes in the green, right? Oh, it's the wrong green. I can tell already, right? Um, well, Windows 2000 was actually the server software. So like you could buy it, but it was based off of the server. So it was better than like the home personal version. I remember when that came out. I actually still have one of those install disks somewhere. Not that I could use it, but um, I moved to it from NT. Yeah, yeah. Well, it was based off the same architecture as NT. Something behind the scenes that's well beyond my pay grade. But yeah, I just remember 2000 was based off of the server version, which had been NT. But yeah, I remember when there was like 12 different things you get. There was like ME, there was ME, I think it was 98 ME, NT. There was a bunch of them. Versus just let's just do Windows. Yeah. But yeah, I did a lot of those, right? Without the 2 gig system file. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep. Yeah. All right. So I would say there's our top and bottom right now. More on the upside. Again, like I said, Aussie news this week I think is going to give us some good bounces. I like it actually coming down. I do think that again I'm going to be probably more bullish thinking in the any of the Aussie based news releases this week. Euro pound I think is going to be interesting for the week. So as you can see, we ended up taking another trade off of. Had you taken it? I didn't take it. You could have taken it on Friday, right? A little bit of a pullback. Again, it had to go 1 to 3, and it did. So again, we can remove it now. So that one is officially out. It's been hit plenty. We had a level here, and again, this was a weird spike. Hit it, came all the way back down, grabbed more orders, hit it again, pulled back down again, and then came up again. So obviously, not a big level that we need to worry about now. This is more of a Friday-based trade. Where we are now, we're kind of in an interesting spot. All right, so price has been up. I would say there's a bit of a zone right here. And again, let's turn this red. Um, Again, this is a little bit of basing before we had that really, really nice pop back on the 15th. Okay. Is it at the extreme? No. It was kind of a Harry Potter, but it's been about 3 hours basing before really exploding lower. It's sitting just a bit up from where we are. I would say it's probably a day or two away, but it's a level. Oh, crap. I didn't want to move that one. Um, right there. The 51. Oh, come on. You're going to mess this up. Just do it this way. Go to red. There we go. I was like, the line is cutting through. It's driving me crazy. 85.14, 85.15. I think this one is going to be interesting. So right now we know that Omicron, whatever the transformer, is in the UK with 2 cases, but it hasn't really started to spread yet. I think right now, as we start to hear more, it has the potential to go higher. I think if any of the European countries, remember, Austria locked down without Omicron. What could it potentially do if we get more? Or what happens if Portugal or Spain is forced to lock down? Or if a part of Italy is forced to lock down? I definitely think we could be up for some European weakness this week, just based off the headlines. That or they're going to say Omicron doesn't matter at all. And then again, the pound should regain some strength also. Um, from what we've heard, I believe, and again, I saw this over the weekend too. They're like, oh, if you believe that they're not telling us something, then you're a conspiracy theorist. I'm like, I absolutely believe they're not telling us everything. Why? Because they don't want to create panic, right? I believe there are certain things they definitely don't tell us because, again, it's handled. It's not a big deal, right? Let's not cause panic because obviously people like to panic, right? If countries are closing down and the World Health Organization is saying something, it's probably a big deal. I feel like the same contagions that kind of messed up the Europe originally, I think are going to come back again. The opportunity in this one, again, it's got to travel about 48 more pips. Their market's closing soon. It has an ATR of about 37, 36, 37. I don't think it's going to hit today, but for tomorrow morning for the opening session, I think this could be a decent trade as we get back up. Is it a today thing? No, not really. But I do think it is something for later on this week. So I am watching the level. As far as where it went long this morning, yeah, it was kind of a tested level. But I mean, eh, like you could have said, well, wait a second, there's a level right here. Yeah, there's a level right there, and it did hit at the European Open. It's only really kind of gone off about 24 pips. It's over 3 to 1, but I think it was a little bit risky of a trade for this morning. If you guys took it, great job, right? Hindsight is 2020, but I think in looking at this level, it was a decent push. But again, hitting it at 2 o'clock, and then again hitting it at 4 o'clock. Yeah, it gave us the confirmation test at 6. I think it was a little bit risky because again, we didn't really know what was going to happen with kind of Monday morning based trading. And again, it's not really the greatest of levels, and it kind of slowly walked its way in and kind of hit around. So, is it a level that I would use to go long from again? Not really. Is it a candidate for a Harry Potter? Not really. And the reason why is because we have a zone just below it again as well. So, I mean, as far as tops and bottoms, I would say, again, this was our target, the 83, 85. It's obviously been hit multiple times. If you wanted to get into something, there is a small level kind of sitting right in there, and I feel like it's kind of a front run of this old level. So we'll remove this level. I'll take this. Actually, I'll just take it off. Let's just get it off. That was our old target. I would say that this is probably an okay level for longs. This 84.02, and again, it spent a lot of time there, but you know I would say that the reason it spent a lot of time there was probably more because of timing with holidays and low volume and everything. But it did take a decent bounce, right, on the 25th. So again, probably something still there. We can take these two green lines off. We don't need that area of interest anymore. Um, so we're kind of in the middle right now. I would say probably a bit more positive on it. Looking forward to go up. We'll see if we can make it through this 84.95 area. But I think 85.15 is probably a decent level. Again, good technical volume during that time frame to be able to take a short and roll it back down. And we'll see if we have enough room for profit on it. Euro yen, kind of similar. I would say the euro yen is again. You can see there's a bunch of news releases kind of scattered back and forth again. Unfortunately, with this spike here on the 26th, kind of hard to draw a whole lot of inferences from this one. And you can see if I extend this across, bring this level across, these are levels that we had talked about, hitting. That one got hit here and then popped and then hit again. So that one was gone. But all the levels we've talked about have been hit. So there you go. So I think 27.53, again, worth probably one more hit. Again, it barely pierced, so I think that's good. But top side, again, this clearing candle came back and grabbed this level right here. Whoops, it's not that big. There's the candle, there's the grab, right? So I would say session open, it could be worth it. Again, we've got to see what it looks like on its arrival. We're a little bit far away to figure out what that arrival is. But yeah, right now, this is not a zone I want to play with. This clearing wick has gotten rid of all these, so the only thing we got is 128.95 and 127.53. So, yeah, I think again, same concerns. I do think there will be some negativity this week. There will be some headlines, and we will have the opportunity to start taking this one short. Euro dollar. Euro dollar is basically sideways. So we had a level up top. We talked about it. Again, it was a bottom here, top, 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 bottom, bottom. Didn't quite get to it. That is the same level at 113.32. That was what we hit on Friday. Or, yeah, on Friday. And then we watch it drop. So right now, I would say that we are in a level where we have seen buyers come in. If you guys are looking at the candles here, you can see the ascending wicks that we like. It was a base, it was a pop, and there was a little bit of a retest right there. Came back down, it didn't go all the way. It kind of got right to the bottom of this green candle, did not cover the red, and we hit it again. So it's a zone that's been hit a few times. Um, I would say, just like the other European pairs, I think that this one is set up to go down for a couple of reasons. Not only Omicron in Europe, but I do think the United States is going to get some strength. I believe Powell's going to talk about it. We're at the end, tapering's here. I mean, maybe they're going to say, hey, you know what? Omicron, maybe we don't taper, but I feel like right now, um, Omicron is an unknown entity. Inflation is a known entity. And the longer we go without lowering inflation, like they can say it's going to subside next year, but if they don't touch it and they let it naturally subside next year, there's no way that the Democrats will have the election next year. And I don't think they're willing to risk all that. But at the same time, if they raise it and then Omicron crushes us with a lockdown, it's also going to be a clean sweep, right? It will be fully back in the other direction. We trusted these idiots, and now look at us. So yeah, yeah. Um, it's a hard play. Hard play. I would not want to be the quarterback of that book. Um, but yeah, so I think top and bottom. If you guys are looking for two extremes, I think 113.25 on the top, and again, it's an okay level. It's not my favorite, but it is a good, nice little pop. And again, we got to reestablish after holiday weekend. So 111.96 euro pound. Oops. I don't need that right now. You know what? I'll just delete that off. Um, Euro pound, kind of a similar scenario. Now, this one's a little bit different. There was a nice little base here, and again a retest, and again touched it again. So I think that's a level. Definitely mark that one off, right? Which is going to come in at 152.25. So I like that level. And again, there was some, in the early mornings. I mean, we had this kind of stuff, but again, it was close whether you got entered or not. I would say in the other direction. So this was an area. Let's see. Here's the target that we had talked about before last week, the 150.75 or 150.76. That was the target. You can see we've hit the target and bounced, hit the target and bounced, hit the target and bounced, hit the target and bounced. Probably not a level I'd be willing to go long from. Now, the level right below this one, right here, you guys can see that some decent basing push to the brain, kind of pushed it in, pushed it in, pushed it in. So also not really a fresh zone, right? Also not a fresh zone, right? So what I'm kind of wondering on this one is, are we going to get the same type of bouncing effect? Because again, there's obviously some buyers still there because price did not go lower. But will this kind of come through in base and then start doing this little bink, 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 bouncing off of that one? And that level's sitting here at 150.35. Now, it's a very interesting level because again, buyers have saved it in the past, but can we reliably take another hit off the zone? Not really, right? It's just there's just too much in there. Um, I also think again, oof, I think with the yen shutting down, that one has provided a little bit of a burst up. But I would have to say I'm probably more bearish on this one. Do I have a great entry to the downside? Not really. I think this is a bit too far away. There was this a little bit earlier, and again, maybe we mark it off just because again, it's had a very very difficult time getting in there. So maybe that's a level we look at. But as far as kind of where we stop, again, we knew this first level was profits. We knew the second one down to 50.35 was all profits south. So I would say I'm just a bit more negative on this one. I mean, I think this is what this one looks like, and I am just not really comfortable taking it long off that level though. It just hit it way too many times. So I would say look for any type of decent basing. It may give us the opportunity to grab some pullbacks. Um, but yeah, besides that, I just don't think there's just not a lot more activity in this one. Yeah, it's just I don't know, just not as much there for me. Uh, Pound dollar. So obviously, again, basically from that 6:30 time frame down, we've been pulling back. This was a level again. We bounced off of it, so we don't need it anymore, especially with that clearing wick. Um, let's see. Let me see if we can find a decent zone on this one below. Where do you need to go up to a 4 hour? Let's go 4 hour. All right. So we know we got something down there. Yeah. See, this is the problem. There's on a 4 hour. This is what we're dealing with right now. Right. Let's see. Can we do with a 2 hour? Yes, we can see it. Look at this. The subscription's already paying itself off. Will I already have so much more data than I had before? If only there was Black Friday sales every day. Let's actually move this one back to here. Although I will say, Will, it's like, oh, it's going to renew on December, whatever, because it's the 13-month thing. I will say, for I don't know, what was it, 129, 179. I think it's worth keeping for a year for 179. But would I have paid the full price, like the 292 or whatever it was? Probably not. I don't know if it was that worth it to get rid of the D. But all right, so 2 hour basis, we're good on that one. So I would say overall, we know that there's going to be a little bit of hiccups in this one in the pound dollar. I would be looking more for shorts with the pound dollar because I do believe that we are going to see some more pound strength. Even if they lock down the United, put it this way, if they start doing lockdowns in the United States, I believe that they'll be locking down places in the UK as well. So I don't think the UK is really going to be insulated that much. I think the UK is probably more at risk to us. And again, they do have the two confirmed cases. Um, I imagine we'll hear about confirmed cases in the US today at some point. I don't know what time, but I'm pretty sure we're going to hear them today. It's in Canada, so it's most likely here. But I do think, again, flight to safety helps drive this down. Um, and again, the interest rates. I think this one comes down. So, right now, unfortunately, with this here, this is not a good zone to pull zones from. You could say, well, there's a base here. Yeah, there is. Um, you could say that yes, there's a basing here, and it kind of got front run. So maybe you could say, what about this 134.06? That was actually an old violated level, and again, it was a Harry Potter, but it was a decent Harry Potter. I mean, it had a pretty nice push off, right? So maybe that's the call. Is maybe we look for 104.06. Downside, again, we know that we got some decent buyers down here. That would be an area I'd be willing to take long. I like the way that it held in the past, but right now we got a little bit of room to run on that one, so it may not be the ideal opportunity, right? I mean, we got 108 pips, so it's probably more of a Wednesday ADP number. Remember, it is we are rolling in December on Wednesday, so we have ADP data on Wednesday and then non-farm data on Friday. So there are some big releases, right? There are some big releases. So, I got to say, could we, could this push later in the week? Yeah, I think this is a push later in the week type scenario. So I'd love to get short. Just don't really have a great zone. Okay. Dollar CAD. So dollar CAD, you can see we took a nice little bounce late last night off the 127.86. Right. And again, it's kind of it's an old level here. There's a level sitting right above it. So the issue with the dollar CAD is going to be oil. All right. So this one is going to be very, very difficult to play. You can see we missed the target down here by a little bit. The target was 126.36. We hit and just went crazy and then based and it got nuts. Again, all of this was oil. None of this was the dollar CAD. And that's kind of the problem. I think the Canadian releases this week will be good to trade this one. But right now, this thing is getting drug around like a rag doll. So it's very, very hard to say. I mean, again, a $10 drop in oil in one day is a huge drop. It's obviously going to affect this one. Um, yeah, I think what we need to do is really look for some of these technical levels and see if we can have it coincide with, a release when when the releases are. For the week, I think CAD's actually it's not bad this week. None, CAD, all, boom. That's Tuesday. So again, Tuesday GDP number that has a great possibility. Again, it's supposed to be less. Again, this comes in positive at all. Could be a nice little runner. Building permits, not a big deal. Manufacturing, not a big deal. Thursday, OPEC, that's a big deal. I'm pretty sure OPEC is going to tell them to, at this point, after it dropped to $67, I'm pretty sure OPEC's going to tell them to pound sand at this point. And until it gets back up to $80, OPEC's not going to do anything. Okay. Um, Again, making those statements could be a great shorting opportunity for the dollar CAD. Friday, unemployment change. Now, again, it is a cove release. So, again, look at this one in CAD yen, and maybe we'll do that on Thursday. We'll look at CAD yen for this one. Unemployment rate's supposed to go down, hiring more jobs back. It's not as big as ours, but again, our non-farm will probably dominate that one, but could be another opportunity for the CAD to come on strong. All right, so not a bad week for the CAD, but right now it's just it's too much at the whim of oil. Again, up top, I love the technical level. Again, if we can get up into this range again, tested level 128.25 was tested. Nice spike, pulled back, and then again tested, and that was the launch down. So, this zone, I would say at this point is done, right? It hit, the trade is already over, and it pushed it to the brink to slow it down. So I don't think that 127.87 holds again. I think we need to go a bit higher in this one. But on a purely technical based level, I mean, maybe let's see how much. How big is this zone first? Yeah, it's 27. A little bit big for my liking. And actually, you know what? Let's see if I can drop this down to an hour. Let's see. Not really. I think we did this one the other day. I don't think I can shrink it much. No. Not really. I mean, if I really want to get, I can bring it up a little bit, but then it's kind of like there's two levels in here. We got kind of this aggressive. You'd have to have this aggressive level here, right? There's two levels. So yeah. So I would say the aggressive trader is short at 128.14, right? It'd be something along these lines. That's what it look like. 128.15 is your aggressive entry. Your more conservative entry would be 128.33, especially if we can get around news. I think any of those are great for news. Dollar Swiss would have loved it tomorrow. And again, I think we're kind of really just bouncing back and forth. We had a Harry Potter and it based right above and just blew through. So we were calling for shorts. It's just the craziness of the market. This one doesn't have enough volume anyway. And again, profit targets, you can see it bounce right off the profit target and then use this same profit target, right? Came back and touched it again. So we'll remove that to clean it up. We had an area of long here, and again, this one wasn't able to hold over the weekend. I would say a little hidden level sitting right there. Probably decent. Maybe one, two. We've had three touches on it. See where the 50 is on this one. Boom, boom. That's fine. Sitting right there. So problem with Swiss is that one. None of these are really like wonderful levels. There's the news right there. If we can go down to there, probably a decent long for news for that economic barometer. Needs to move 55. Hmm. It's possible. I don't know that we're going to be able to get that far down. But I will say if we can get lower, I do think maybe taking a pop off that news could be decent. Um, I don't know if we can travel that much in the time the news. Maybe, but it's gonna have to be a pretty negative day. Um, I don't know. The 9189, I think, is a decent level. Would love it for news. That would be my favorite part to take it on news. But maybe news is what brings it down, and then maybe the U.S. rolls it back over. Um, maybe that's maybe it's one of these. Maybe it's one of those. Watch this level. I think we'll bring this up tomorrow, but I think 9189 could be a decent little pop level. Um, yeah, we'll see. Dollar yen. All right, so dollar yen is literally. We were talking about this all going down. It ended up going down. We ended up hitting the level. So let's clear. Whoops. Helps when you hit the right key. Let's clear all this stuff now. We don't need all this. Again, bounce back up. This Harry Potter blew through, so we don't need that anymore. Take all these off. We don't need this anymore. Um, go right off that 145, 115.47. All right, there you go. That's what I was looking for. All right, so we're going to take this. We're going to slide this forward. We're going to make adjustments, and we're going to talk about that level right there. And that's at 113.85. That's an old level. Oops. Levels, percentages on the right. Oh, that's weird. Top, bottom, whatever. I don't care. Let's see. This is what we're going off of right now. We're gonna mark the level off there. One 26. So, uh, no, we got an area there. Not that I love this area. Um, took off at 130. I would say I'm probably more bearish the dollar yen right now, trying to find a good entry. This was a decent entry, although you can see it kind of front run from that level. I mean, the next real viable, again, this Friday is just destroying this one, unfortunately. I wouldn't take any of the levels built in this area because it was such low volume. It did base a lot, and that was kind of again, we already knew that was a level from before the 115.47. So I would say 115.26 is probably a decent level to look to take shorts off of. 112.86, I would say, is probably more my. Why the heck is it? Oh, there we go. I was like, why is it rainbow? Um, I'd say right now this is probably more of a target, the 112.85. If we can get kind of a confirmation off of it, bit of a confirmation bounce, there's probably something decent in there. But right now, I would say more negative. I like this one on the downside. Yen strength coming in. Let's look at oil. So oil is retracing, right? And again, kind of like Sunday night, Europeans did nothing with it, right? Europeans. Here's the European session to 8:30. Yeah, here's the Europeans. There's European oil. So yeah, nothing. Talked about it coming higher. It's still kind of stuck. I would say. I mean, obviously, when you mark off gaps, top and bottom. I mean, there's your gap on the bottom side. So I would say right now it looks like oil wants to remain negative. And again, not surprised. Again, this is just I mentioned earlier. Yeah, it's up 3.3%, but it's one Omicron message from being back down to 67. OPEC is literally going to say pound sand. We're not doing this at 70. We're not going to increase it and lower our profits when it's already at $70. We're not going to increase it and bring it lower. They love $75 oil. I think 73 is the magic number for them when it becomes like, considered like their ideal target is 73. But I mean, if you can get 80, why do 73? But again, if we hear that Omicron is not a big deal, look for this thing to spike. But right now, I would say probably more negative today with the news. I mean, like I said, I'm not watching, but Nothing yet. It's too early. Lockdown. Did markets overreact? Maybe. Maybe. But then the World Health Organization comes out and just makes a big statement. So, home sales jump. Look at that. Oops. All. Look at that. Home sales are up huge. People are selling their homes. Probably because interest rates are going to rise. You got to buy a house now before it gets more expensive. So yeah, not good number. Good number if anybody was selling their house out there. So yeah, I would say probably more negative. Look for potential bounces. And again, we already had levels in here, a little bit lower at the 67 mark. God, I'm kind of really curious now. It's like, man, why can't it be Tuesday? Now I'm like, I want to see the API report, right? Give me the API report. Natural gas is doing the exact opposite. Now, it looks like we did break through. That we had that 4090 as a level. And again, the level had been pushed to a brink, but look at this. We've had a base on a 15. Is this going to continue to go short today? It's going to try. It is going to try, although it's kind of bottled in right now. But yeah, so natural gas obviously exploded on Friday and then exploded back to the downside. So yeah, I mean, it's funny. These two should be the exact opposite. Oil should be red today because again, now Omicron, everybody's talking about Omicron, right? Natural gas, guess what? If we're locked at home, we still need heat. So yeah, right? And think about it. Will you use if we go to lockdown, will you use more or less gas, right? Less gas. So there should be less demand on this one. If you are home, will you probably run your stove more, your heaters more? The answer is yes. And yet natural gas is down 10%. So, yeah. And again, gold and silver obviously reacting to Omicron values as well. So yeah, I would say look for this one to come down. There's a level here. We've taken a bounce off of it in the past. It kind of got sliced through and then was the bottom. I would say that's probably our next target down here as far as shorts go is that 47.76. It's a level that we like. Probably a decent bounce level as well. I would say that again, as much as we've moved, it's probably going to be a bit of a retracement in this one. So again, call your propane guy today. Be like, hey, listen, it's down 11%. What do you got for me? But yeah, I look for a balance in natural gas. I'd be trying to get long natural gas. I think this is way too much, and we have an opportunity to go higher. Gold. So gold literally banked right off 1800 again. I still don't think we've cleared the area. Again, gold will be at the mercy of anything Omicron related. Powell speaking tomorrow, I think, has more of a benefit than it is today. Right now, with additional lockdowns are not necessarily the best thing in the world for gold. They're going to raise interest rates, but again, cheaper prices, everything else. I would say they're probably more negative on gold. I would say that the last time we had an opportunity buying was again the 117. What is it? 1760, right? We got a bit of ways to run for that, but what's going to stop it? Looks like we got a little bit of a hiccup here, right? Um, yeah, I would say that's the first big area that I'd watch out for. Would be this level here at a 1777, right? Um, could we take a short out of there? Not really. I was like, wait, is there a short there? But no, there is not. Now I'm kind of wondering if we do this, and then we come down here, and then we go up. I wonder if that's what it looks like next. Again, basing in that level, eat those orders up, drop down, grab the next area. Again, that's what it needed to power through, come back up again, and then use this old violated level that used to be the level that we took the bases off of. Again, old buying level. Again, and then use that to catapult higher back up to 1790. Wonder if that's a play for Wednesday. We'll see. Like I said, I think today is obviously not the best day for it as everything unfolds with Omicron. Silver obviously taking it on the chops a little bit more, but it's at a level. I mean, 23 is a 23 is a level we talked about. It was a target we talked about being low last Friday or last week. We just ended up going sideways, and then Friday came down and ended up tagging that level, spiking about 3/4 of the way up, and then came back down again. This level, I would not be taking a long off of it. I think the next time where we really have buyers kind of targeting down below is what we marked off and talked about last week. The 2268, probably our target, right? I don't see it going any higher. And again, get those memes ready. Get those memes ready. Already started working on them. But I would say at this point I would be more negative today. Look for bounces and maybe some stabilization around 2260, but I would say that there's probably a decent kind of roll point from there. Indices, all right. Obviously VIX is down big, right? Obviously VIX is down big. Russell obviously is getting hammered suddenly. Let's see what's going there. ES, let's drop it down to a 15 minutes. See what we got for today. Um, yeah, I mean, I would say that again, looking at levels. There's a level sitting right there. And you can see there's our opening print. Let's see if we had enough room today. Probably not. It looks like we're close. 1 to 3 is right there. We just broke the 1 to 3. All right. So again, just broke the 1 to 3. I do have to remember to go in there and take pictures as soon as we were done. But there would have been your opening print. Literally a rally right back up to an area of basing on a 15-minute, drop down below. And again, I think it'll have some problems right now. It is 1037, so would expect some basing here. And again, it was tested. We'll see if we can kind of go sideways. But again, like I said, I expected more negativity today than anything else, and the pre-market rising up kind of showed us that. We'll see if we can continue all the way down. Can we get back down to 4600? Yeah, probably. I think we could. I think we could potentially come into probably levels a bit lower, but yeah, there was your opening trade. Okay, again, you're definitely out now. NQ, NQ kind of did the same thing. The 10 o'clock candle, actually the 9:30 pulled back into a long, right? Kind of pulled back into a long for the open. Had you been looking at levels here, right? Problem with this one is it didn't quite enter it. There's your 9 o'clock. It pulled down and just kind of rolled. Now I would say that this one is more boxed in than anything else, right? Test, 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 and that's exactly what it came off of. So more of a 10 o'clock entry. It's the strongest of the group, so it's not surprising. Remember, it's a little bit more insulated. Lockdowns, technology, good for NQ. So a little bit harder. Again, it's accelerating, showing you that, man, listen, everything else, Russell's going to get much, much worse at this point if this is accelerating this fast. So, yeah, I mean, it would have been a decent short, in line with what we saw with ES. YM didn't quite make it. YM had a little bit more to go to its level of basing. Again, it tried at 9 o'clock, 9:15, and then 9:30 just collapsed away. So didn't quite get entry. And again, I don't see this one slowing down. Here was the gap, right? So it looks like we are clear till at least here, right? We're clear to at least 34,628. And we know we don't even have levels to a little bit lower. So, I'm curious. Let me see. Yeah. Everybody out there is going to be like, I took it off to 50. It's like, no, you didn't. You got front run. Liars. Hold on, let me adjust it. I don't know. I can adjust it. There you go. Now they can say that they did it if I adjust it back. Um, but yeah, I don't think this one's slowing down. I think this one comes down. I think we hit the 34,621 today. I'd look for some basing down here. And again, it may be a potential rollover for tomorrow morning. Not looking great right now. And again, Russell is, yeah. So I was looking to get short from this level. Russell wanted no part of it. Russell literally was like, "Oh no, 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 we've been tested here, here," and then again this 8:30ish, 9:15, and then market open right down. So yeah, go Russell. Yeah. So man, I was really hoping to go a bit higher to take another level higher, but I guess that it wanted that level. So yeah, question is where are we going to stop for Russell? Looks like 2200 could be our next level. Looks like our first target's 2200. Be nice if we get a pullback, right? Be nice if we got a little bit of a pullback. We can do a jack here and be like, all right, listen, we're waiting for a pullback to the 23, right? But as it moves, he's got to keep adjusting it. So I think it's going to go all the way down first. I don't think we'll get the pullbacks at this point. But yeah, I would say 2200 is going to be the target. Again, this one had an opening short. Same short. We had a short one. Actually, I guess technically, let's see. One short at the open. This one was kind of more set for a long because it pulled back right beforehand, but really wasn't in a level either way. YM, obviously got front run, more set up for a short as it rallied back up again and started the base. And then Russell obviously came back up, very, very textbook. Came up in actually 839, and we're sitting right there. And again, we were looking for one more push higher, but on a 15-minute, you can see that he had the two touches on that one and continuing with the drop. And I think we hit 2200 today. So, Apple doing okay, Tesla doing okay. Looks like the coins are in red. Ethereum's up a little bit, and Dogecoin's up. AMC still dropping. AMC not having a good day. I guess movies are not a good thing today. And then bonds. Bonds are a little wacky. A little wacky. What's the dollar doing right now? Yeah, it's still flirting around with this, messing around with these people. So, all right day. I think every headline is going to be kind of a, oh my God, is it here? Is it here? Is it here? Is it going to be bad? Is it going to be bad? Is it going to be bad? We're going to hear that all day. All right, so it's Monday. I have no idea who won what did what last week, so it's going to be 25 pip chips. We'll kind of start it over. I don't even remember who won. I mean, I can check it afterwards. Does anybody remember? I don't even know what day it is anymore. I'm like, wait, it's Monday? 5 days with family. I'm like, what? All right, who are we missing? We have no Eki today. See, Eki was sneaking in at the end, right? Who's in here? Ernest in here. Debbie's up there. Marina, Sean. All right. Looks like no Briggs today. Yeah, no Briggs, no Eki. All right. There's I clean it. Oh yeah, you did win. You're right. You're right. There's Eki. Look at that. See, I knew he was here. I knew it. I knew Eki was here. All right, now we can close it down. Eki, if you win, I'm never going to hear the end of this. Right? I'm never going to hear the end of this. Look at that. Ernest just got blasted on it. I was like, whoops, I shut it down right when you hit it. Sorry. Can't reopen it. I don't know how to do that. So, yeah. So let's see who takes it. Again, yeah, we did reset it, so it's a 25 pip chip drawing for today. If Eki wins, I swear I don't know anything. I did nothing. All right. Winner today's drawing is. All right, good. Not that I'm ever rooting against you, Eki, but if I would have made that big a deal about you and then you didn't win, like if you would have won, I feel like Neuro would have been talking about how rigged it is. I feel like he would have been all over it. But if Neuro was winning with 2, it's absolutely rigged, and we all know that. So, Neuro starting off the month with his 25. Well, it's not really. I guess that's not starting the month. I guess it's ending the month, right? Yeah, we got what? 2 more days. 2 more days. What is it? Wednesday? Yeah, it's only 30 days. So we got 1 more to go. I will try to work on the indicators today, guys, and get the indicators updated so you can download them. I'll post a message in Discord because I do know the expiration date I put on them was I believe the 30th. 30th. So I will try to update them today. If I do update them today, I will. It's on my to-do list. I will make sure to post it in Discord. That way, you guys are not saying, "Hey, did you update the indicators?" Right? Yes, I'm going to update them. I will probably make them. I will probably change the date to January. That way, I'm not scrambling at the end of the month, with not being here or being there or whatever. So, fumble fingers getting in. So, all right. With that said, I'm out of here. Watch these headlines. And again, currencies are a little flat. Everybody's trying to figure out what the heck's going on. We'll see what Macklin says too. We'll see. I think dollar CAD may be maybe a trading opportunity at 2:00 if you guys are watching it. Drop in the 30 minutes, see where we are with this one. Again, right now with dollar CAD, again rallying up into a zone. If we can get up the 2:00 time frame is, let's see, 2:00 is right here. We're kind of getting close, right? 14 is right there. So hopefully this is just a little bit of a hiccup. We'll see if we can get the reversal. All right, with that said, I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for staying around a little bit longer, and we'll see you in the morning. Take care.